Studios, Dementites and Dementoids. Westwood One presents the Dr. Demento Show. 2 hours of music and crazy comedy from out of the archives and off the wall. Featuring Weird Al Yankovic, Cheech and Chong, Alan Sherman, Stan Freeberg with the old payola roll blues. The funny 5 most requested demented discs of the week. And we cannot let the month of April go by without a salute to our springtime weather. Here's Mr. Doodles Weaver.
When April showers, she never closes the curtain. Oh, no, never closes the curtain. I better start again. When April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom and play. A bale of hay the other day. A funny thing happened to me the other day. I was walking down the street and the man said, I hear you got a week back. I said, yeah, I got a week back. He said, when'd you get a week back? I said, oh, about a week back. I said, get a... And though it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you see, it's raining violets. Raining violets, that's better than hailing taxi cabs. And when you see clouds up on a hill, you'll see they're just clouds of diffo-dals, a dalfo-diff, a deefo-doof, a doofo-whiff, a whip-and-poof, whip-and-poofs. We are poor little lambs who have lost our way. Wrong animal. Speaking of animals, they have a new animal at the zoo over here now. You should see it. It's half lion, half dragon. The front half is lion, the back half is dragon. Back half is dragon, you. So keep on looking for the bluebird and listening for his song. I wrote a song once called Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 Men in a Tub. How unsanitary. When April showers come along.
Take away the trees and the birds will have to sit upon the ground. And take away their wings and the birds will have to walk to get around. And take away the bird baths and dirty birds will soon be everywhere. And take away their feathers and the birds will walk around in underwear. Take away their, and the birds will have to whisper when they sing. Chirp, chirp. And take away their common sense, and they'll be headed southward in the spring. Oh, remember me, my darling, when spring is in the air and the bald-headed birds are whispering everywhere when you see them walking southward in their dirty underwear. That's Tennessee bird walk. Some trees so the birds won't have to sit upon the ground. And how about some wings so the birds won't have to walk to get around? And how about a bird bath or two so the birds will all be clean? And how about some feathers so their underwear no longer will be seen? How about a little, so the birds won't have to whisper when they sing? Chirp, chirp. And how about some common sense so they won't be blocking traffic in the spring? Oh, remember me, my darling, when spring is in the air and the bald-headed birds are whispering everywhere when you see them walking southward in their dirty underwear. That's Tennessee bird walk. That's Tennessee bird walk. Chirp, chirp. That's Tennessee bird walk.
Jack Blanchard and Misty Morgan on the Dr. Demento Show with some goofy gold from 1970, the Tennessee Bird Walk, and from one of Spike Jones' network radio shows in the late 1940s, we had Doodles Weaver serenading April showers. Dr. Demento Show!
Hi, Dr. Demento. This is Diane Littlefield. and Q103 from Loveland, Colorado. I want to hear Catalina, Magdalena, Homensteiner, Wolvenliner, Hogan, Bogan, Logan. I've been trying 10 years to find somebody that knew that song.
Well, you found him. That song's been a summer camp favorite since at least the early 1950s, just passed from camp to camp. The only recording of it I've ever seen or heard was made in 1975, and they maybe don't do all the funny verses I remember, but they do a good job. A group called the Marshmallows. Catalina, the Marshmallows on the Dr. Demento Show.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Dentine has a taste made for the two of you.
Just the two of us. Getting closer all the time. Just the two of us. You and I.
That clean, crisp Dentine taste makes it nicer to get close. Not even mouthwash freshens your breath better than when you're chewing Dentine.
Now, I must be the only guy on the radio who'd play a song like Madalena, Hadalena, Hoopensteiner, Wappeliner, Hokum Pokum Smokum was her name. At least that's the way I remember the chorus. But I'm sure you remember some others like that you'd like to hear again. So why not call our request line and tell me what they are? The Dr. Demento request line, that is, 1-213-652-8028. If your voice is played back on the radio, you win a Dr. Demento t-shirt. So do it now while the rates are low, and please dial carefully. 1-213-652-8028. Coming up, a brand new one from that wet dream man, Kip Adata. In this new tune, Kip Adata does for vegetables what he did for fish in his classic Wet Dream. This is Life in the Slaw Lane.
It was Cucumber the 1st. Summer was over. I had just finished a long day and I was busheled. I'm the kind of guy that works hard for his celery, and I don't mind telling you I was feeling a bit wilted. But I didn't care at all, because otherwise things were fine. I try never to disparagus, and I don't sweat the truffles. I'm outstanding in my field, and I know that something good will turn up eventually. A bunch of things were going grape, and soon I'd be top banana. At least that's my feeling. But that's enough corn. Lend me your ear, and let us continue. After dressing, I stalked over to the grain station. I got there just in time to catch the 9/11 as it plowed towards the core of Appleton, a lentil more than a melon and a half east of Cloveland. No one got off at Zucchini, so we continued on our route to Bega. Passing my usual stop, I got off Acado. I hailed a passing yellow cabbage and told the driver to cart me off to Brooklyn. I was going to meet my brother across from the eggplant, where he had a job at the saffron station pumping gas. As soon as I saw his face, I knew he was in a yam. He told me his wife had been raising Cain. Her name was Peaches, a soiled but radishing beauty with huge gourds. My brother had always been a chestnut, but I could never figure out why she picked him. He was a skinny little string bean who'd always suffered from cerebral parsley. It was in our roots. Sure, we had tried to eat it out, but the problem still remained. He was used to having a tough row to hoe, but it irritated me to see Artie choke, and it bothered my brother to see his marriage go to seed. Like most maple couples, they had a lot of growing to do. Sure, they'd sown their wild oats, but just barley, if you please. Finally, Peaches had given him an ultimatum. She said, "I'm hip to your chive, and if you don't stop smoking that herb, I'm going to leaf you for basil, you fruit." He said he didn't realize it had come quite so far. On the other hand, even though Peaches could be the pits, I knew she'd never call the fuzz. I said, "Hey, we're not far from the mushroom. Let's walk over." He said, "That's a very rice place. That's the same little bar where alfalfa my wife." When we got there, I pulled up a cherry and tried to produce small talk. I told him I hadn't seen Olive, not since I had shelled off for a trip to macadamia. When I told her we can't elope, the time just wasn't ripe. She knew what I meant. When we left the mushroom, we were pretty well juiced. I told Artie to say hello to the boysenberry and that I'd orange to see him another time. Well, it all came out in the morning peppers. Artie caught Peaches that night with Basil, and Artie beat Basil bad, leaving him with 2 beautiful acres. Peaches, she was found in the garden. She'd been pruned. Well, my little story is okra now. Maybe it's small potatoes. Me, Idaho. My name? Wheat. My friends call me Colonel. And that's life in the slaw lane. Thank you so much. It's a garden out there.
I'm gonna be round my vegetables. I'm gonna chow down my vegetables. I love you most of all, my favorite vegetable. If you brought a big brown bag of them home, I'd jump up and down and hope you'd toss me a carrot. I'm gonna keep well my vegetables, cart off and sell my vegetables. I love you most of all, my favorite vegetable. Oh, David Vigil. I tried to kick the ball, but my tenny flew right off. I'm red as a bee, 'cause I'm so embarrassed. Jump, 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 I know that you feel better when you send us in your letter and tell us the name of your favorite vegetable. I know that you feel better when you send us in your letter and tell us the name of your favorite vegetable.
Vegetables, written by Brian Wilson and Van Dyke Parks, and sung by the Beach Boys on their album Smiley Smile from 1967, and Kip Addotta with a title song from his new album Life in the Slaw Lane. On the Dr. Demento Show, as we switch from vegetables to meat, our request line rings again. Hello, hello.
Hi, Doctor. My name is Birch, and I get demented on I-95 in Sunrise, Florida. And I've got a problem. I just got back from my friend's house. Her name is Joanne. And the whole time I was over there tonight, all she did was eat Frankfurter sandwiches. Can you help me out with that? Can you tell me someone else had that problem before?
Well, that problem, if you want to call it a problem, goes back at least to 1927 when this next song was written. We have a Roaring Twenties style revival recording from 1961 done by Joanne and the Streamliners. Here 'tis.
Every night he brings me Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. How his baby loves those Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. He tried to win me with flowers, all kinds of sweetness, till he found out his baby's weakness. Every night I whisper, thanks for the sandwiches, thanks for the sandwiches. But he feels there's something wrong. Instead of me billing and cooing, all I keep doing is chewing Frankfurter sandwiches all night long. Since the world began, the girl expects the man to bring her tokens of his love. Some bring bags of gold their lady loves to hold, and jewels bright as stars above. But it seems my ideals are much higher, so here's how he fulfills my heart's desire. Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. I really don't care for candy, ice cream and custard, but how I love hot dogs with mustard. Every night I whisper, thanks for the sandwiches, thanks for the sandwiches. But he feels there's something wrong. Each time he starts popping the question, I'm too busy digesting. Frankfurter sandwiches all night. Frankfurter sandwiches all night long.
Hot dog, hot dog. Here come the hot dog man.
Hey, come here.
What is it, lady?
But I see you got a hot dog stand.
You know something, Sue? I'm known now as the hot dog man. Yes, the hot dog.
Listen. Well, I want a dog without bread, you see.
Wow, what's the matter?
Because I carries my bread with me.
Now, Sue, you peculiar, and that's the natural fact.
Yes, and if I like your dogs, why, I'll come back.
I know you will.
How much is it? I'm here to pay. Satisfy me. Listen while I say.
What have you got to say?
I want a hot dog for my roll.
Well, here it is, here it is.
I want it hot, I don't want it cold.
My dog's never cold.
Give me a big one, that's what I say. I want it so it will fit my bread.
Now here's a hot dog for your roll.
Now is it young, I don't want it cold.
My dog's never cold.
I sure will be disgusted if this dog game full of mustard don't want no excuse. It must have lots of juice. I want a hot dog for my roll.
Come and let me straighten you out. Now here's a dog that's long and lean.
That ain't the kind of dog I mean.
Now here's a dog, Sue, that's short and fat.
But show me something different from that. Now here's my roll.
Where's your roll?
Now where's your dog?
Sister, that roll you got will hold a half a hog. Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, Butter. Can you fit it?
Why, sure I can.
Why, boy?
Why, Sue, I'm known now as the champion hot dog man. Now here's a hot dog for your roll.
It must be hot, I don't want it cold.
My dog's never cold.
Give me a big one, that's what I say. I want it so it will fit my bread.
Now here's a hot dog for your roll.
Now is it young, I don't want it old.
You know my dog's never old.
I sure will be disgusted if this dog game full of mustard don't want no excuse. It must have lots of juice. I want a hot dog for my roll.
Hot dog man is gone. I'm gone, hot dogs.
Butterbeans and Susie on the Dr. Demento Show. 1927 must have been a great year for hot dogs, because that's when that song was originally recorded, I Want a Hot Dog for My Roll. You'll find it on an anthology album called Stars of the Apollo, named after the famous theater in Harlem. And the song Frankfurter Sandwiches was also written in 1927. We heard a 1961 recording from England by Joanne and the Streamliners.
30 seconds ago, I was listening to tapes with my boyfriend Eddie. Then he gave me a new grape Certs candy. Suddenly, I'm about to go on stage to play drums with my favorite group. I never tasted grape like this before and can't wait to try new fruit punch. Imagine, Retzin and 2 new flavors to sweeten your breath. Gotta go. Can't keep the crowd waiting.
Certs Candies and new grape and new fruit punch. Nothing's ever the same after you taste one.
Alan Sherman, Stan Freeberg, Cheech and Chong, and lots more Dementia coming up on the Westwood One Radio Network.